Hey everyone, this is Rocky from WeLearnChess.com, and since we're on the checkmate theme from the last couple posts, I figured I'd put up another checkmate video. This time, it's a checkmate that I had in my game and I didn't find. So this game obviously is not going well for me. I had to give up my queen earlier. Well, I didn't actually quite have to, but I went for it, figuring that I was lost anyway. So yeah, I gave up the queen in the middle game, and I was able to coordinate my pieces pretty well here. I'm still losing totally, but I wanted to see if I could get some sort of checkmate going. And even though I was looking for it, I didn't find it. So here in this position, it's black to move my opponent's move. And as so often happens when people are up a queen, here I mean it's more like being up an exchange, but when people are up to a lot of material, it's easy to get blind to what your opponent has going on, and just obviously he wants to play a3 here and mate me, which seems, reasonable. But I actually have a forced mate here, and he probably could have maybe stopped for a minute too. I mean, I missed it too, so we both missed it. But it took me like a ton of moves to get this knight. There's even more before that, I think, to finally get it coordinated over here. So, but I guess he had this idea of pushing this pawn to start with, so it's easy to get blind to other ideas. So in any case, now that the queen has left this this post here, and hasn't gone to a square that can defend, there is actually a forced mate, so you might want to stop your video and pause it and see if you can find the mate. Okay, I'll show the solution in a minute. I got stuck in the game because I really felt like I had something, but I was focused on getting a rook to the g1 square, so I was trying to think of how I could do that. If I could work with a check here and then get a rook here, but that didn't really do anything. Then I was thinking maybe put my rook here first and then threaten maybe taking things. But it was too slow. And of course, if you have forced mate, then you should play it. But I didn't find it. So the solution is, well, there's only two checks right now. And there's only, two captures. So the two checks are here and here. And the two captures are here and here. And the captures aren't really forcing enough to do anything. I'm not really sure. Maybe this capture. I mean, I don't think they work. So, well, if you move this knight, he can just take this with check. So that can't be done. And if you try to take this here, I mean, at the very very least, he could sack an exchange and get the two knights. But in any case, yeah, the captures don't work. So then this check here, I was looking at trying to open the file, but I couldn't find a follow-up. So the most natural check there is, which is the one I looked at, but I didn't find the mate, is just this one here. King only has one legal move, and a lot of times when there's only one move, then it's forced. It's a good place to start because it really, obviously the fewer options that your opponent has, the easier it is to calculate for you. And here we have this theme of sort of like a smothering where the king just can't come out. And I have seen this idea of these two knights just hitting these two squares, which is pretty cool. But I didn't think of the back rank. There's two things I missed here. One is the back rank, so here I get in this check and he has to play back, and I also missed that my knight was, well, if I had seen that far, maybe I would have seen this, but I didn't see this far anyway. But it's cool if this knight is actually shielding this rook here, so it kind of worked like magic there. If I had found it, would have been really nice. So yeah, maybe next time you have this sort of set up in your game where you have knights so close to your opponent's camp, definitely keep your eyes peeled and see if you can get in this idea of these two knights here on these squares here. Of course, you got to do it in the right sequence, and some other things have to be right. Like for example, here instead of queen b4, I mean, you could have just, for example, I could play here, and now there's no mate. Whoops, because he's got the square covered with the queen, and then there's no back rank issue here. It's just game over. I also imagine that g6 would be fine. I don't know. I don't see a mate after that either, but then again, I missed this mate, so maybe play around with that. But I don't really think g6 would have been a problem if he had left the queen here. Because now there's another space, there's some love for the king, and I don't even have this check anymore because the queen's still on this diagonal, and even if I did, I don't think that the mate would quite work. Maybe check here, like if the king or the queen wasn't on the square, maybe check here and then trying to get a rook here and using the pin for more checks, but yeah, that would be interesting to look at too. But okay, so hope you enjoyed that checkmate video, and I'll see you around.